up? Tony from LearnAutoBodyAndPaint.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about a question that was recently submitted. Should I paint my car in pieces or at once? Now, I don't want to make this a super long video, but let's just get to the points really quick. Why to paint in pieces I'm going to cover, and I'm also going to cover why not to paint in pieces and the pros and cons of both. Okay? Why to paint in pieces? If you're doing a complete restoration, if you don't have a big space in your garage, if you want to paint not only, the outside of your fenders, say you're working on an old Ford truck or something, and you also want to get behind your fender where the panel meets to the body, right in back of it, you want to make sure everything is completely painted nicely, then painting in pieces may not be a bad idea. Okay, and also if you're limited on space, so if you have a small garage and you could only fit a couple of pieces in there at a time, and you have a car that you can completely disassemble, or a motorcycle, of course you're going to want to paint in pieces, or a small go-kart or whatever you're working on, it is a good way to paint in pieces. But why not to paint in pieces? If you're doing a custom job, custom colors like candies, flakes and pearls and stuff like that, I really recommend not to paint in pieces, because especially when doing flake, right, you want to try to get the flake on as even as possible. So if you're painting it in pieces, say one day you're doing the hood and two fenders, and the next day you want to do the doors and the quarter panels and stuff like that, if you're working on a car, you're going to have to, number one, you're going to have to get the mixtures correct, right, which is going to be, you have to measure everything out perfectly, and you have to get the spraying techniques down, how many coats you're laying on top of it, and it's going to be tough matching, you know what I mean? When you're doing one day, another day you're doing it, especially with flakes and even pearls, and even more candies. Like you can't paint candy colors in pieces. It's not recommended. It's best to paint candy coats when the whole car is complete, because most times when painting candy, you have to run down the whole side of the car with your single spray to make sure everything is nice and even. So that's the whole deal with candy paints and all that other stuff. So those are the pros and cons. Pieces are at once, so if you have to do it in pieces, try to do a regular base coat, clear coat, or an enamel job that doesn't have any added flakes in it. If it's a regular metallic color, I don't think you're going to have a problem. You're really not going to have a problem, actually. Just make sure everything is mixed the same the second day that you start painting. All right? But once you start adding pearls, flakes, and candies into your clears and doing three-stage paints, it gets tougher because you're trying to get it even, right? So I don't recommend that. If you're doing just a regular base coat solid, or even a metallic color that's already mixed into the base coat, painting in pieces, you're okay, all right? Again, if you're going to be doing candies, make sure everything is together, or you're doing it at one time. So if you're doing like a motorcycle fairing kit and everything, just make sure that you're going over everything pretty evenly with the smaller parts. But big things like cars and stuff, I don't recommend shooting candy in pieces, because it's tough. You're going to see a color match. With a motorcycle, yeah, doing candies, flakes, and pearls, you can do it in one piece because you're doing everything at once. You got your fairings over here, you got your motorcycle tank, you got your fender. Everything's like right around in front of you, and you could basically see the whole color difference and the flake and everything at once. All right. So what I mean by pieces is all your pieces not in the same room painting at the same time. Do you know what I mean? I hope you understand that. So what I mean in pieces is, if you just have the front of your car in the booth one day or in your garage and you're painting, and the rest of the car is not in pieces. But if you're doing the whole car in pieces in your garage, then doing pearls and flakes may not be that bad. But candies, I really recommend, if you're doing a complete paint job with candies, make sure the whole car is assembled, and you could just flow everything out, 1-2 coats of candy, and it's going to look really, really nice. So I hope this kind of cleared everything up for you about should I paint my car in pieces or not. And leave comments below if you have any questions. And if you're on YouTube, click like, please, And click the description link below. It's going to take you over to the blog at learnautobodyandpaint.com, where you could download a free 85-page auto body and paint manual. I think you're really going to like it. A lot of people download it and say they love the content. There's a lot of free information in it, 85 full pages of content. There's no fluff or filler in it. I think you're going to like it, and it's absolutely free. So go there right now, download it. If you're on the blog right now, comment below. I would love to hear back from you. I read every single post on this website. I read every single post on YouTube, and I comment back. So thanks for sharing. I'll see you inside. Bye-bye.